Hi, good morning, all of you. I'm sharing my screen. Okay. Let's revision for the 2 minutes, like whatever we have discussed yesterday, and we'll be going to discuss new topics on the today. Hope you are able to, everyone able to see my screen and able to hear, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. I think that is. Thank you. Okay, we'll be using the three editors, either Notepad++, or just like either Visual Studio Code or Sublime. Everything you can able to do in all the editors. Something like either HTML, CSS, JavaScript, or the Angular, or any React.js, any type of libraries or the applications which we can run in any of these editors. And if any newcomer, please download any editor. And while I am typing it, you guys also can hear and practice as well, so that it will make us to not to forget what we are learning. So next coming to thing is something like web development. It means user interface. Whatever we'll be seeing on the browser, that's called as a web development or user interface we can consider. And next, HTML means stands for hypertext markup language, and we can save in the two types of extensions, which is something like .html as well as .htm, and preferable is by the browser. .html is more considerable by the Google or any intranet or any browsers. And whereas something like HTML literally containing something like collection of predefined tags. Now we'll be getting it out. What is tag? Tag in the sense like which is coming under either angle braces or just like less than or greater than symbol, that we'll be calling as a open tag, and which consists of forward slash with the angle braces. It can consider of something like closing tag. And next we will be seeing about HTML structure. This HTML structure, which consists of both the opening and closing tag, you can consider as a one document in between from the HTML open tag to HTML ending tag. As we saw yesterday example, and from this HTML to this HTML is a one document. This document type is for the purpose of we will be telling to the browser, it's like document type is an HTML, because all browsers it doesn't understand what type of purpose we are writing it over here. And whereas comment things we will be writing in angle braces inside exclamatory mark with the two hyphens with the open and two hyphens with the closing, like which we can consider for our comment section related information. Whereas the element, it means inside the angle braces, whatever we'll be writing it, this we can consider as a element. With the angle braces, if we call it as a, it's an HTML tag. Whatever the element you will be writing it with the same name, we'll be calling as a element. And for example, if you see in our example.html, like whatever we'll be writing in the HTML tag, this is just like total document. Whatever the content you are writing inside it, it's just like a content we can consider it. Whereas our total HTML document, it has been divided into two parts: head section as well as the body section. Head section, it will be containing of marketing information and the title of our web page or any page, and which type of character sets we'll be writing it, either UTF-8 or UTF-10 or something like. For example, author name, like what author we are writing the program, and as well as viewport for the responsiveness. And tags are divided into multiple types, something like dependent tags with the elements, independent tags with the elements, black level tags with the elements, inline level tags with the elements. Whereas dependent tags, which is coming with open as well as the closing tag. For example, HTML tag, div tag, it means like division tag, span tag. It means it should contain both open as well as the closing tag we can consider. Next is independent tags as well as self-closing tag. If you are seeing here, we are not opening and we are not closing. Just like the same tag itself, we are having the forward slash, because any frameworks it doesn't understand, it will be expecting an forward slash for each tag. And next is black level elements. It means whichever by default will be printing in the new line every time. This will be coming for black level elements. For example, div, h1, paragraph tag, like that. Next is something like inline level tags. It means which will be displaying on the same line. It will be keep on appending like word by word spaces. And why we are going to write our HTML document or any type of document. We will be writing for the purpose of for the read and write information for the particular clients. It means, for example, we will be seeing something like Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or anything. There will be providing an for the either register of the particular user. We can provide our personal information, something like personal information, as well as username or password. Whatever we will be entering the information after logging our application in the profile section, it will be showing our profile photo and our username and what's our email and what's the phone number. That's we can consider as a password or something. This and all, like whatever I have explained, we have practiced in example 1.html. Just I'm putting in the developer guide so that while seeing it, we can go to our example and just like wrap it up our things. And yesterday I have showed one more thing, something like where we will be creating our directory. I mean like each folder. Yesterday I have selected as my drive as in the C drive. I have created a folder called web development folder. In that, I have created one more folder called HTML. Each language will be providing in the different folders, something like CSS, JavaScript, TypeScript, and everything. In HTML, we have a developer guide, which we saw now, something like for our developer information, like what are the tags, and by seeing it, we can easily understand what we are doing it, either coding way or just like all the purpose. And what are the files we'll be creating it. This is with the help of something like .html. I have created it yesterday, and this is with the help of .html. We can see right click and just like go to the properties. We can check our something like our file tab in the sense just like each thing like which has been shown in the which location, or just like if you want to make any read only or just like advanced, we can check the each file information like what type of files we have created it. And this is the example we have practiced in. Here in the something like in the Notepad plus we have view option called in the header. Like here we are having view current file in either Chrome or in which browser you want to display the content. It means whichever system you are containing the multiple browsers, you can select over that one. So I have selected as Chrome. It has displayed in the my Chrome browser. Like yesterday we have seen this is something like one by one line displaying content. This is happening in the same line with the input as well as the labels. And now I'm going to create one more file called, I'm saving with the help of something like example 2. I'm doing the save as in the same folder. Like wherever you have saved the HTML folder inside, we can select our like file type. It's an hypertext markup language because .html extension I'm putting as a example two. Sorry, I'm selecting as again hypertext markup language. You should be focusing here and type it, or else something like it will keep on searching other things. Example 2 file. So if you select as this one, it will auto save as a .html. You can go to the like file explorer, and you can see it is getting highlighted with the browser. If you double click also, you can able to see in the browser content like whatever we have written it. And HTML, which it will start with the HTML tag. HTML tag open and the HTML close tag, and which contains of two sections, head and as well as the body. The like it will be containing the two sections. We should be writing in the formatting manner. If you see what are the tag opens, it's closed in the same manner. It means anyone can understand by seeing it. It should be in the same like line or just like same. I mean like same order, like which you are trying to close it. That thing you should be part of the same thing. Yeah, and like in the head, already you know about, we can write our title information, which is the purpose of we are writing for example 2 for displaying content. In the body, we'll be writing today about just like we'll be discussing about H1 to H6 tags and as well as the paragraph tag and list related information. And now I'm showing about just like H1. It means something like for each page it will be containing a single heading. It means something like main heading. And if you want to see in the browser what we need to do it, either you can go with the help of view current file in which are the browser you want it. It's showing in the main heading way. This is the heading one H1 tag. We can call as H1 tag. Here we can mention like we are having heading tags for content, either body or for the content we can write it. With the help of it can contain the H1 tag, H2 tag, H3 tag, H4 tag, H5 until H6 it will be containing. So now we'll see here, sorry, in example 2.html. We can write our H2. We can have something like this is the heading 2. Yeah, this is the heading 3. Heading 3 we can make it, as well as we can write for the heading 4. Next heading 5. Next heading 6. if you see in the browser, I'm refreshing it with the help of this button. So we're able to see like different headings. If it's a main heading, we can use one. If it's a subheading, we can use the multiple things as well. This is the heading related information. And now we will see about HR. In the sense, something like it's an horizontal row array for reference header. It will be just like by default, it will be generating with the gray color horizontal row line. It means it's a divider for the total content of the our body. It means HTML body content. It has divided with the single line after our specifying line. And now I will be showing about paragraph tag. Paragraph and we will be writing it. We'll be using like while any content is extending by 130 characters. If any content is overflowing of 130 characters, that time we'll be specifying in as a 130 characters. So we should be making our note as well. Paragraph tag it means you should be using in if you overcome 130 characters. That time only we should use paragraph tags. And whereas we have discussed about horizontal row, it will have divider between one content to other content. And as well as in this hyper reference are just like horizontal row, we can have the color called, we can pass our color like whatever the color you want it, something like either blue or red or green or anything we can pass it, so it will be in the same color. And by default with the help of it will be containing an 1 pixel size, and you can pass the different size also if you need it, something like I need 10 pixels of the particular horizontal row. See, it's increased the height of it. It means in this hyper reference tag I have added two attributes which is called as a attribute. This is the attribute, and right side double quotes inside, this is the value. As we saw yesterday about, just like however meta information it contains name as attribute, these are the values. Same way here, color is attribute and blue is a value, where size is a attribute and 10 is a value. It will be taking the pixels and it will be displaying the normal color format. This is the one example for HTML colors as well. We can write our colors also for in our HTML HR tag. Color is attribute, and for example blue is a value. Any value you can pass it, either red, blue, white, green, rose, any type of information we can pass it. And whereas the size is attribute, value in pixel is a value. Pixel is a value. Okay. Alaf, can I able to hear me?
Yes,
Yes, yes.
Yeah. In between I missed something. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So we saw about paragraph tag as well as these heading tags. Now I'm going to explain about lists. Now our topic is lists. Lists in the sense something like we'll be having either multiple subjects for each person, or just like multiple student names, multiple countries names, and everything. For example, I will be showing in our drive, just like how it will be contained in the web drive, or just like normal drive. I will be taking as a one WordPad, so that we can have our Google documents, for example. See, if you see now here, we have the different types bullets, just like different types of list. If it's a number list you want it, or any type of list we can have it by selecting the content. Just like we can provide like what type of list you want it. Suppose like these dots. If you enter, it will be creating the one by one list. Something like how many list you want it. You can add the something like value, or just like our text, anything, any type of values we can have with the these dots are just like circles, like different thing, like you can see this is squares. It means you can have the numbering, it will be coming in the numbers. This one are like we can achieve in our HTML as well. And lists are divided into four types. One is something like ordered list, and second one is unordered list, and I'm sharing my screen. Sorry guys, network has reconnected. I'm resharing my screen. Yeah. Now everyone able to hear, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we are having lists are four types. One is something like ordered list, one is something like unordered list, and one more. Third one is definition list, and fourth one is something like nested list. These four the types we will be having in the lists. And order list we will be writing with OL tag. Another list we will be writing with the UL tag. And definition list we will be writing with the DL tag. And now I will be showing like each list how we can create in our web page. I'm creating a new file again for the order list so that it will be more clarity for us to understand. So in the same page, I'm creating an order list with the hypertext markup language. Here again, we'll be writing with the HTML and the HTML closing tag. And I'm not writing header here, just like I'm going with the body. So we already explained like 2 3 example in the heading as well. So and as I told, like order list which will be starting with, and for each page we need to have the heading. It's an order list example. By seeing the example, we can easily understand what the purpose we are writing it. And I said OL is means something like order list. And OL inside we should be writing as a LI tag. LI means it's a list. What the information You want to show it in the list. It means we can say India and like we can say about something like USA or just like Australia and Canada. Yeah, and Canada. Different. Like we can have the list in that. Just I'm refreshing in the browser. I'm saving it and just like refreshing in the browser with the our order list file. We should be opening it. View current file in Chrome. It means by default in the order list, which it will be taking as a one. It means it will be starting with one, two, three, four, like that. In the order list, I have put it as a list tag with the multiple elements. It means it can have our own information to save the just like to view our in the browser India, USA, and Australia, and as well as Canada. It is showing an four list in the browser with the order list heading. And now I am adding as a without the type I have passed it. And I will add a HR for our differentiating the row with the divider. Color I will be providing as a green and size as a 5 pixel. And we will be taking one more order list. Now I will be showing with the order list with the type. Type I will be passing as a small a and which will be coming with the A, B, C, D with the in the small letters. Now I will be putting as a list again. And what type of languages we are writing it? I mean like we are learning HTML and CSS and JavaScript and Angular or any type of language we can have it. So I'm going to browser and refresh the page. If you see with this green divider with the hyper reference just like horizontal row, it has been divided into two types. First one it came by default type as a one. It means something like in the ordered way 1, 2, 3, 4. Here it is started with the A B C D in the small letters. Now I'm going to put one more thing with the help of order list type with a different. Now I will add I for reference again with a different color. Now I will be adding yellow color with the size as a 5 pixel and again putting as a order list with the different type. In the order list we are having a 5 types something like small a, capital A, numbers, Roman numbers also can have it. It means now I'm going to write our list information. We have written as a languages as well as the countries. Now we will be taking as a states, for example, Andhra Pradesh. Now Tamil Nadu. Net Mama. Sorry all for the inconvenience. Like it's been like net is disconnecting again and again due to power. Okay. I was explaining about this OL with the different types. We are having a five types of OLs. It means type with the small a, type with the number, type with the capital A. I am putting like different states we can have it like Karnataka. We can have any number of list. We can write it in their line so that it will be displayable on the browser. If you see here, first one is started with like 1, 2, 3, 4, and here small a, b, c, d, and next capital A, B, C. And we will be seeing one more type now. The I mean like horizontal row with the different color. Something like rose or pink, we can use it anything. We can have our OL type with, I mean like Roman number I'm putting now. Like now we'll be taking as a some languages, something like in the subjects in the school, something like science, social, mathematics. I'm going to the browser and refreshing the page. If you see now, it came in the mathematical Roman numbers with the small Roman numbers like 1, 2, 3, and it will be starting with how many list you will be maintaining it, that many it will be coming under. And I'm putting with again like red color with a different list again. Order list type as a capital I, it means like capital Roman numbers. You can have the list tag, li tag with our own values, something like whatever you wanted. Either desktop application, sorry, it's missed with the column. Like if you see now, if you miss it with the column or double quotes, it will be showing the different color so that you can understand something we missed off. Like we should be putting the proper columns for any attribute and values. Desktop application, mobile application, and we can have something like mobile, I mean like tab application or any type of applications we can have it. Tablet also it can have different type application. It can have web application. Now if you see now, it started with the capital Roman numbers, and I will be showing one more hyper, I mean like order list with the black reference. I'm putting the type as a, I mean like one, and I will be putting as a from start. It should be start from 100th number. So I'm putting that like that. I mean like we have computer different languages, right? We can have different lists. Something like Java, C, C++, and .NET. Or any type of language we can have it. Now if you see in the web browser, I'm refreshing it. Now if you see which is started with the 100, it means for the same order list, I have passed as the type as a 1 and it should be start with I have specified as a 100. It means it is starting with the 100th number. Whatever you will be specifying it, based on that it will be getting started. Something like in this, we are having small a, this also, right? For this also we can specify start attribute. It should be start from after 7th character, for example. If you see now, which is started with the 7th character, something like G, H, I. From the wherever you want to start it, you can specify the order start also. For the order list tag, we have the two properties called type and as well as the start. You can specify. And for the horizontal row, we're having a color attribute as well as size attribute. Now I'm going to the user guide, developer guide. So I'm writing it here. For the order list, it should be contained the list tag for elements. And in the order list, what it will be containing it? It should be like start attribute and as well as type with values. Both it should contain the values. And while how many types are available? We are having types of 5 types. One is type equal to 1, and type equal to small a, and type equal to capital A, and type equal to small Roman number, and type equal to capital Roman number. These are the 5 types of available. And with the attribute values, how we will pass it? Something like we will be passing an start attribute as a how many you want it. Something like it should be start from 10 or it should be start from 12. Whichever will be specifying it, based on that, it will be taking and it will be considering. And in the order list, by default, what it will be taking? By default type is equal to 1, which will be starting with the numbers by default. Now we will be moving to the unordered list. Now order list we have discussed. Let's go for unordered list. Unordered list we will be declaring with the UL, and we will be containing 4 types. I'll be creating one more file called unordered list. Here I will be starting with the HTML tag. So we can have it our body tag for our writing the code. And now H1 I am putting for another list example. As it is a dependent tag, we should open and we should close it. And I'm starting with the another list UL. Another list will be putting with the UL tag. Here also same, we should be specifying an LI items, list items. We can have the different sports types, something like cricket, kabaddi, volleyball, football. Now, if you see here in another list, if you go to the browser or just like view in the just like our view current file in the browser, we can see our file which is by default came with the bullets. In another list, we can make as a bullets. I will put a knife reference for the differentiating purpose. I mean like horizontal row, that color has different thing. We can provide it however you want it, just like either pink, rose, or any color you want to specify it, you can specify it. And size also if you want it. Size should be in the pixels. That we can learn in the CSS pixels and all like units. In the another list, now I'm going to specify type. Type will be containing, it can have something like circle, and we can have here different types of bikes or something. Just like mobile phones, where I have Samsung, where I'm Apple phone, and OnePlus. If you see now, like you put a square also, same way, like what are the, by default, what are the square is coming, same, I mean like that circle, same way it's coming the bullets. Now I'm passing with the different HR tag, I mean like different horizontal row with the different values. Now square, and we can have something like I'm like laptops type, something like another any type of we can have it. Lenovo, Apple laptop, HP, or any type of laptop. We have so many things. We can see a square. If you refresh now, it is in the square format. Now I'm writing one more. Now I'm putting the like by default gray only, like I'm specifying again gray. Now I will be putting as a disk, type as a disk in the another list, the bullets. Now in this also it will be taken as by default value, and we don't have it will be considering same value, but we can specify as a none also one other type. None means it won't be considering any bullets here. If you want to with the empty bullets, it means with the simple space. If you want to contain the data, it's the same thing like which will be showing in the same format. Now we have seen the another list. I'm going to the developer guide and putting the types in the another list. Another list inside what we need to write it list tag, and after that it contains the like different things which will be just like in the another list. This we can call as a another list with different types. It contains the four types. We can have it something like type as a none, type as a circle, type as a square, and one more is just like disk we have already not written, just like type as a disk we can specify. These are the four types which is available in the unordered list. It will be for either we can write it in the braces. It is mainly for inserting and bullets in the particular list. Now we will be going with the definition list, and I'm going to create one more file for the definition list. The HTML tag, it's a root tag, and we can have the body section with the normal empty closing body tag, and which it can contain our head one h1 for definition list. This is the definition list, and for the definition list we can have the DL tag, and in the DL tag we can have something like DT, and we can have the question something like here we can have like how are you question, for example. For writing the definition for the question we'll be containing something like instead of DT we'll be containing a DD, data definition. DT means definition title, DD means definition data, or just like definition description, or just like that thing we can consider. And we can, some people will say like good, some people will say like bad, some people will say like very bad, like different things we can contain. This is the normal single question. And we can have one more thing, something like where are you from. We can say India country, Canada, and Europe. Just like we can have some different country names, and if you see in the browser it will be different, looking in the different format. View current file in the our browser. If you see now with the definition list, what will happen, it will be showing an like subtitle with the like sub list also. With this question it can contain these answers, with this question it contains this type of answer. This is the example for definition list we can consider. And we can go to the developer guide and we can write our thing. Something like in the definition list, what will be containing it? DL means definition list, DT means definition title, and DD means definition description or definition details, and all that we can continue. We can have it. This is the definition list. Whereas coming to the nested list, we can just like copy our order list or just like another list code, and just like we can put on one more file for data definition list, or just like definition list we can consider DL list. Same thing I had taken, but what will happen now? Just I'm displaying the browser same way. View current file in the Chrome. Like whatever we have seen the order list, here we can make as a order list with the nested. Okay, and now I'm putting, if you want to display something like any nested list now, inside the li tag itself, we should be writing our thing like here. Something like we can have the again OL with the different things we can have it. Here we can have the versions like version 1.2, something like, sorry, not the one, yeah. While inside again it should start with the li, right? Sorry for that. It should be the again in the list inside. Something like version 1.2 with the li, version 1.8, different thing we can have it here. And I'm going to the browser and refreshing it. If you see now in the under Java list, I have added a sub list. Now you can see it's a nested list for the this 100 Java. It is containing the two things, version 1.2, version 1.8. For example, in the .NET, it have the different things. Now I can put here in the .NET we are having something like different. C sharp, we have a ASP.NET Web API, or we can have something like MVC. It means different sub list. Each list can contain something like NT framework. Different frameworks it can contain. Like just I'm passing it. If you see now for the .NET also, it's got added as a sub list. You can put our type also again. For this again sub list, you can have the sub list again. Inside the li tag, you can keep on adding how many nested lists if you want it, you can add it. Nested list means what? Yeah, some lists inside list tag, li tag. Li means list item. It will be displaying in the, we can consider as also sub list. Nested list as well as the sub list we can consider. Nested list where you have practiced nested list example. This is just like okay, we have put it once again. Some wrong name we have put it, but just like we can save as that file, same name. It's the nested list. We can have in our notes the user guide, I mean like developer guide. This is the nested list example, and we can have about thing with the help of something like definition list that example, that HTML, and another list also we are having the help of something like different file. It means for each type list we have practiced with the one example. This is an example. Whereas in the order list also we have practiced with the order list dot HTML. I will be sending this developer guide notes in the WhatsApp group as well, so that everyone like don't miss anything.